Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to T2R Radio. We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check Take2Radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at Take2 Radio, and thanks for listening.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is David from Take2 Radio, filling in for Pam. And with me tonight, I have Candace.
Hi.
And Anthony.
Well, hello, everyone. I just barely made it here. It is the rainy season in Florida, and I almost drowned. For real.
It is.
Yeah, I believe it, because you guys are getting the storm, you're getting heavier down there, and it's making its way up to the East Coast because since Saturday, it's been partly cloudy, raining, and it's about to thunderstorm here soon too, so yay.
Yeah,
climate change is real, folks. That's all I got to say. Climate change is real.
And so do our systems. We change with the weather. I'm trying to get over something.
Well, it has definitely been an interesting week in the soap world.
It has.
But also in the world of strikes. Shout out to our brothers and sisters and non-binary siblings who are picketing the big 3, 10% of all auto workers. They are nowhere near contract, but Candace, girl.
Yo.
Girl.
Yeah.
You heard today?
Tell it.
Woo. Let me say this right now. Last night, while I was doing, soap party, I got an email. This is legit. I got an email, and they had, said, pretty much. I'm pretty sure you guys all saw. They also leaked it out, saying that they had came to a tentative, deal. And At first I was like, okay, keep holding my breath because I heard this on Friday. I heard this on Saturday. I was like, It's going to probably go into the middle of the week. I said at most. And when I saw it and it got confirmed, I was in shock. I'm not going to even front. I was like in shock. I was like in tears because here's the deal. I was in solidarity with the WGA. Which I'm like, I can't wait till tomorrow so I can pick up a pen and write. Y'all have no idea. But it's been 5 months, you guys, 5 months when all of this went down with the writers. And there's been up battles, there's been down battles. There's been people who have made some decisions, career decisions, because the strike went on too long. At the end of the day, though, I am so happy, and I hope the deal is good for 3 years because it's a 3-year deal.
It is a 3-year deal?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a 3-year deal.
Yeah. I hope it is a good deal. I hope that, and I say this all the time, that y'all getting your money the correct way because you guys do earn it. And I hope this is actually an eye-opener for a lot of people. Because it felt weird. I mean, think about this, you guys. Next week is October, right? We start a new month. Usually around between last week and this week, it would be the season premieres of your favorite shows, correct? It would be, right?
About.
And it felt weird not to have this season on, Anthony's Anatomy, or that's a new show. I should write that. Hey, there you go. But it just felt weird, and a lot of movies was pushed back. Pretty much Hollywood came to a halt again. Yeah. But I did get the other email, which is also the WGA. It's also in solidarity with the SAG. Because SAG is also on strike. The actors are still on strike. And there is rumblings that there may be a closed deal with them in the next 2 weeks, hopefully sooner, because everybody just wants to come back to work. Everybody wants to go back to work and do what they love to do. And, I just hope I'm like I said, I'm really happy about this because you guys know it's been driving me crazy. I posted saying I miss my Forever and a Day family. I really do. I love you guys, by the way. But I'm just glad that the WGA, that part came to a head.
So, Candace, what does this mean for Forever and a Day? For a show like yours that, really found its footing in its second season, really kind of, and then to be pulled. What does this mean for a show like that?
So it was weird because, I will say this, we're like Days of Our Lives. We record so far in advance. But usually we would start writing and we would actually then producing for next season. And, of course, the WGA, at first, the first go-around was if your audio drama series, you could, participate if you didn't have a WGA member or even SAG writers or something like that. And so we had to hold off. We couldn't do anything because, again, we were solidary.
Because you have a SAG.
We have SAG actors on our show. So we couldn't, and not only that, but we're also licensed under a SAG-AFTRA new media agreement. And I'm going to bring this up because everybody was wondering about the date soap actors. Their contract expires next year. So
let's hope.
Because, again, there's two different branches of contracts. There's the new media agreement, which is like podcast, daytime soaps, because everybody was wondering, why isn't the soap actors striking? That's because they were protected by a contract that is, like I said, expires next year. So it was all over the place, but we couldn't do anything because, again, we had WGA writers. We are under agreement with WGA. We're under SAG-AFTRA because we have actors. That's a part of it. So we couldn't do nothing. We couldn't promote as much as we wanted to. I could because I'm kind of grandfathering in between, which means I could be joining soon. But we couldn't do nothing. We couldn't, our actors, I'm going to give a shout out right now to Frank DeCopoulos. Hey, Boo. He couldn't promote the show.
Couldn't promote
because
he was on strike.
SAG. And it was just really hard because not to, pat myself on the back, but this was a good season. And we just couldn't do it. And that's for a lot of shows and movies, they couldn't do that. I think Barbie, the movie, was the last, premiere before the strike. And a lot of people couldn't even, they couldn't continue it because of the strike. So for audio dramas, it was just weird. We couldn't do anything. We was like, hi, we can't do nothing. We're sort of like, so we really couldn't do anything but just,
My question is, Candace, do you have WGA working on Forever and a Day? So we have the WGA license, which means that our show is copyrighted under the guild. We have some who has credits towards the WGA membership. We had Sally Sussman, we had Tom Racina, we had John F. Smith, a part of our team. They're still kind of connected to it, but for right now, we don't. I'm just going to leave it at that. Y'all know I can't tell everything.
So rolling this around, how long do you think it will take your show to get back to production, to get back, and will you do anything to kind of shine a light on, what wasn't able to have been promoted these last few months?
Well, I mean, as soon as Tuesday, when we hear that there's a final agreement for the WGA, trust and believe, some of us going to be writing that same day, which we already know the episode count of the next season, which is going to be I can't believe I'm about to say the season 5. Good grief. And so we know the episode count. Our season usually starts in February. So again, like with the WGA, like we're going to have all the scripts taken care of. It's just the acting side of it. That's the thing. It's like all the writers who are listening to this, you do realize that, yeah, we can write, but there's still another piece to this puzzle that we're really going to need. So
need to SAG after back to work.
Right. So once that's done, we're going to re-promote as much as we can with season 4, before season 5. And if we have to do both things together, I'm going to tell you right now, we'll do it. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an executive. I'm a boss. I'm just saying, But there is a question, though, Anthony and David. I don't know if you saw this or not, but the question is that now that the WGA strike is totally over, does that mean we're going to get the 50th annual Daytime Emmy Awards?
No.
There's a question that was posed yesterday at a recent soap Zoom, I believe.
It was posed yesterday, and from the reading that I'm getting from the information that we got a couple of weeks ago, that if both strikes were resolved by October 1st, there would be a way for them to produce a show this year.
Right.
If not, there would be no show. I don't think that even if the deal is announced as ratified tomorrow, from what I'm hearing from SAG people, we're not close enough. We're not going to get a deal out of SAG-AFTRA, within the next few days. They're not close. So,
and they basically want the same things.
They want the same things, but their contracts are much. I don't want to say more complex. They're interwoven differently, and so there's different parties that have to be pleased from both unions. And so dealing with writers, you're dealing more with production. Dealing with the SAG-AFTRA, you're also dealing with executive producer credits and things like that. Basically they are more complex. And so, the fine points, there are a lot more fine points to tune and play with. And they're not even, there's not even amicability within the current talks. So we're not can I say 100% that it's no? No. Stranger things, miracles happen, all kinds of,
Yep.
But the likelihood that we're going to see an actual Daytime Emmy show this year is very, very, very little.
Seems like the season right now is basically taken care of to the best of the ability. And we won't get anything new.
Look at it. They keep waving around $5 billion right now, but that's just a number. That's the number of calculated income that they would have received at this point. That's not counting the residual, streaming, etc. There's a lot of other income streams that when all of this is calculated, that $5 billion is going to turn into like $12.5 billion. This is not good for anyone. It's not good for the economy. It's not good for the industry. It's not good for us fans. We're looking at the midwinter season as being the actual season for this year. You remember back in the last writer strike, 22 episode shows had 12 to 15. 18 episode shows had 8 or 9. And some shows skipped a season because that's just the way it is. And we're all just going to have to roll with the punches. Fortunately, our soap operas, we're not really going to feel a blip as far as new content is concerned. Some will debate whether some writing, blah, blah, blah. We can get to that later on.
Don't say that.
Yeah. But Candace mentioned this earlier. Soaps, sometimes somebody has to take it for the team. Y'all all know that phrase. Sometimes, somebody has to take it for the team. And Soaps has been taking it for the team for a long time, only to continuously get cut, left on the bench, made to put all the equipment away after cleaning it. Soaps has taken a hard road. And so in a year and a half, So, they're learning a lot from this process. And I think, a year and a half from now, we're going to be talking about the same thing from our perspective. Yeah. All right. Who else has news before we start getting into the shows?
I mean, I'll do it. The other news besides the strike, and this was Billy Miller.
I thought you were going to do the other one, but okay, yes. Oh God, yes.
Well, real quick, I did this on Soul Party. Congratulations to Lamone Archie for his arrival, his baby girl, beautiful baby. Gorgeous. I'm like, to him and his wife, I believe that's his wife. Congratulations. There was some cast news. I mean, Rena Sofer is coming back to General Hospital. Okay,
for an extended arc, not for a couple of weeks or 2 freaking episodes. Sorry, I might have let a little emotion up into that. For an extended arc.
Yeah. Do I trust? Okay, ask me. This is what I want you to do. Okay, we're going to do a scene. Ask me if I trust GH to do this right. I'm pretend, we're not on the show. Pretend. Okay, go ahead.
Candace, as we talk on the red carpet, and by the way, if I didn't say it at the beginning of our interview, you look absolutely fabulous, darling, absolutely fabulous. But the burning question.
You look amazing. The people here are amazing. I just feel I'm feeding off of their energy.
Absolutely.
That's what we got to do.
And oh my God, do you hear them screaming in the background? It's all about that dress, girl. All about that dress. Okay, but the burning question. The burning question on everyone's mind is they pulled the coup. We knew when the contract and it was announced and that Rena was leaving the Bold and the Beautiful, we knew it was just a matter of time. It was a ticking clock.
Yeah.
Do they have the writing chops to give this the justice that it truly does deserve? That's the burning question, Candace.
First and foremost, I'm glad that she's coming back to General Hospital after 26 years. She was a part of a popular couple that we still talk about to this day. She was a part of an era of General Hospital that will be never matched ever again. I'm sorry, but that's true. Lois is one of those characters that you have to really carefully write for, and she's not a throwaway character. I hope that they have the writing for this character. I hope that it's not a way to throw away this character to prop other characters, if I can say that correctly. I'm looking forward to her interacting with not only Wally and Lisa, but Maurice Bernard as well, hopefully, and also Amanda, because I would love to see how Lewis and Brooklyn get along now, especially with everything going on. I'm going to say this. I trust General Hospital 50% to give me that.
Ooh, 50.
But the rest of it, I'm kind of worried because of the history of bringing on a former character from the past
and kind of ruin them.
Brenda. Sorry,
yeah.
I just had a little foot clench.
I hope, and you know what? I actually hope we do get a mention about Brenda and Lewis. Like,
Me too.
Because here's the thing. Let the record show, okay, and I really need everybody to understand this. Back in the day, Lewis was that character. She was the character. And this character that came under her named Brenda took over. And Lewis was secondary. Now you're bringing her back. Is she going to be secondary to Olivia? Or, like, where is her placement going to be regarding this storyline? And hopefully, like I said, 50%. So, you know, by the way, oh, my God.
I'm going to step in. Baby. I'm going to step in right there, and I'm going to say this, okay? Frank, you know, we've had our conversations before. Frank, listen. You don't have to be an avid watcher of any of the other shows, but I'm going to tell you, call me offline, I'm going to tell you all of the episodes that you need from The Bold and the Beautiful that you need to go to YouTube and find, because the power of the woman that you are bringing back to this canvas, the power of the acting of this woman, you've got somebody who can rip this canvas to shreds. And Lois was that character. Now it's 20 years later plus. She's older, she's wiser, she Mama Bear. You know, Ned Ed is all kinds of messed up. Her daughter has been played. She's not coming to town, you know, the ingenue role. You got a powerhouse actress. Write the good stuff. Put her up against Jane Elliott. Put her up in. No. Put her up in the scenes and use her to her fullest potential. This is a character that when you bring back all your General Hospital, even the ones who became fans after she was gone, we all still know her anyway. This is the character that unites all of your General Hospital fans. So use her well. That's my advice. Go ahead, Candace.
Very good thinking. I follow you.
Yeah, I mean, because it's frustrating to me. And this, you know, in General Hospital's 61st season, I believe started today or tomorrow. So, you know, the anniversary season is now gone. Okay, but you need to do this because she was such a core part of a storyline that was so good. You know, finding out that the guy that you love have a, you know, double identity, you know. Also, again, the fact that, and okay, General Hospital writers, whoever is writing this at this time, because I'm pretty sure some people will be like, in a couple months. I need for you guys to remember this. Olivia and Lewis and Sonny
all friends
in the same neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
There's a reason I'm bringing this up because I don't want it to be, oh, well, who's this? Who's that? Who is this? Who's this? Who's that? Because it was already established that everybody knew each other from the old neighborhood. I want to keep that because that is such a big moment because I feel as though if you're going to do the heat, because I think this is what you're going to do, you're going to have Olivia versus Lewis. I think that's what you're going to do. You're going to have that, but I don't need it to be a weak character with all the history. And you notice I said weak, and this is not against any of the this is nothing with the actor. Okay, let me clarify this. It's the fact that General Hospital has done this too many times. Jackie Templeton, okay? I am not going to, I'm not even going to say it, but Elizabeth's father. The mother, totally different story. But Chuck Weber, you recently just did it, and we're going to talk about this with Nicholas Cassadine. You cannot keep doing this to care. Actually, not only Nicholas, Taggart. Okay,
oh, my God.
Right. So, to me, we're not going to do this. I'm hoping that it's worth I'm not going to get too hyped because I feel as though General Hospital, you're going to do this and you're going to let me down. So I'm hoping against all hope, and I'm sorry if people say.
Hold up, though, Candace. I have a little inside information. I'm not going to give any kind of numbers or anything, but I will say this. The reason I'm very hopeful is because General Hospital is paying. Honey got herself a good deal. So, Frank, make mama work for it. That's all I'm going to say.
You can have a good deal and still up it up.
No, absolutely. But I don't know. I think this one they're going to get right. I think we're going to have that moment of the sisterly bonding between Lois and Olivia. It's going to go on for like 3 cuts of the episode. They're going to come back, or they're going to leave us off on...
The animosity between her and Tracy?
No, hold up. I'm talking about the scenes between her and Olivia. They're going to they're going to be at the end of that 3rd vignette, and Lois is finally going to turn and say, don't think that I didn't have a few things to say to you about marrying my ex-husband. Boom, go to commercial. Yes, mama. That's what, if they go that, and not make them fight, or not make them really fight, but make them do the real honest that would happen in real life. When the friend came back, all this, you've been taking care of my daughter. I do love you for all these things, but you didn't even call me and tell me you were marrying my ex-husband. I found out about it from my daughter. Something like that. I want to see that. Or I want to see confirmation that they've been friends off screen all this time. Give us something that makes us understand.
Anthony?
Because that's going to be another thing, too, is that, okay, so you mean to tell me, like, if I'm the viewer, okay?
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing that they need to play, is that you can't, first and foremost, David, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yep.
I just can't hear Anthony.
Okay. Oh, you can't hear Anthony?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm here.
Here's the thing, because we got to also remember that some people weren't there for Lewis. They don't know. I mean, you know what I mean? There's been 2 versions.
I do, and I respect that. That's why I said that the people that weren't there for her, they do still know about her.
Right.
They know who she is, and they know the importance of what that is.
Right. Because here's the thing. If you're going to tell me, because it's been 20-something years, okay? I mean, it says Renner's version. I mean, with Leslie Kay, it's been a couple of years. But what you need to do is you need to fill in some blanks. Not everything, but I do want to know, did she know that one of her friends was Marionette? Was there some hidden feelings? Which I think that's going to be played on, is the hidden feelings.
It should be anyway.
It should be, but not to the part where it's like obsessed. Like she can still
and not
have
Lois
those,
the victim either, because Lois was no victim.
She wasn't. She was a spit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see how this plays out. But like I said, 50%. I'm giving General Hospital. I'm giving you a little higher than what I was originally going to do, because at first I was going to give you 20. But I sat down and I had a self-talk to myself, and I was like, I'll give you this because I know how much this is really going to. This is, and not only that, but this is such, again, like she's not only. Another thing, General Hospital, like I said, have her move around because she does have history with Sonny. I would love to see her and Alexis in the scene. I've been asking for that for years, because of Eddie Maine's Angels. I would love to see, obviously, her in Brooklyn, especially regarding Chase. Of course, Tracy. Yeah. I mean, we need to like utilize her for the time that she's there, and not just isolate her. Because if you isolate her, then I don't know what to tell you. And I'm just going to say, just for the loving fan in me, can I get a scene between her and Laura Wright? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Rocky,
thank you so much.
You could.
My little Rocky.
Yeah.
Bourbaki.
Now we
I
can
love
talk about.
Bourbaki. Okay.
Now it's
Okay,
Billy Miller.
Candace, I am always the one who says that if I'm ever going to have to eat crow, I will do so. So I'm about to cut into some really tough crow here right now. You called it. It went off the rails. And I don't think it can be pulled back now.
You want some water?
I guess.
You want some water? Want water with that?
I'm gonna say this. No, I'm gonna say this very. I have to say this very solemnly. Not my my cute gay persona that I throw on sometimes. This is my public service announcement. Like, I'm really feeling something right now. Okay, if you're gonna play the Charlotte storyline, you know, and the goal is to turn her into Helena, 2.0. All right, I can feel you. Then you better do it to a way that makes her the villain, make her the best, baddest villain, and go with it. That's okay. I'll go with that. Otherwise, please tell this is a mental health storyline. Please get this girl some help along the way. You can dangle us along some more, but turn this into a mental health storyline and do it right. You what?
I do have an issue with this story.
Yeah, go ahead, David.
Why?
That's my note to General Hospital. If you're going to do this, either make her the baddest villain, make her the next Nell and rip her out, or do it as a mental health storyline. Otherwise, it's going to fall apart, and it's already kind of creepy. Go ahead, David. I'm done.
Or I'm just thinking, why all of a sudden now? So we're supposed to believe that it was Charlotte all this time?
Okay. Okay, real quick, because I feel like we're going to start General Hospital first. Because I just, real quick, we do want to give our thoughts and our prayers and condolences and hugs to the family, friends, and colleagues of Billy Miller. Last Sunday, on his birthday of all days, we did get the word that he passed away. He passed away actually on Friday, which was the 15th, and we found out 2 days later on his birthday. A lot of his colleagues, from Young and Restless to All My Children to General Hospital, including Days of Our Lives and Bold and Beautiful, pretty much the soap community as well as the primetime community, because he did do guest stars on Suit, on Ringer, which shouldn't have been canceled, on the CW, by the way. Just saying.
Tell me.
I know who you are, CW. I know who did it. And on other places, put out statements, including his mother, who I can't even imagine her doing that, but she did confirm that he did end his life, which kind of took everybody by surprise because there was a lot of rumors out there. I said this last night I've been saying this since the day of the announcement of Billy Miller's death. First and foremost, one of the most humble people you have ever met. He enjoyed this work. He was a great actor to the point where, and I said this last night, we all talk about Tom Pelphrey. Tom Pelphrey, you guys know Jonathan from Guy and Light, who's done Broadway and does movies and stuff. And, before Tommy, there is Billy Miller. Billy Miller was able to do justice to all the characters that he played, whether it was Richie to Billy Abbott to Jason, then Drew Kane. He did it with he was
Grace.
just able to do it, with grace. And not only that, but think about all the people that he has worked with that are legends in this industry. And he held his own, okay? Do you hear me? He held his own to the point where it was like, are you an old soul or something? Because for you to go toe-to-toe with Cameron Mathison, Susan Lucci, to David Canary, to Melissa Claire Egan, to Elizabeth Henderson, to Peter Bergman, to Eric Brayton, to Amelia Heinley, to, Just Walton, to Jeannie Cooper, to go over to Leslie Charleston, Jackie Zeman, Rebecca Hurt, all these people who are legends and being able to hold your own. And not for nothing, I have to say this, one of the few actors who can actually work with kids and not get intimidated, and vice versa. And you know, I saw Hudson West post, and the young lady who played Delia on Young and the Restless, she posted it. But it was just a sudden shock and such a loss. And I said this last night, you know, September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and I said this, you know, the last couple of years has been crazy, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, all that. And, you know, sometimes we don't want to show our emotions because, you know, there's that term of, you know, if you show your, well, not term, but there's the stigma if you show weakness, people are going to take advantage of you. Yeah. And I'm going to say this real loud, so cover your ears, folks. It's okay to not feel okay. You are human. You're not a robot. You're not AI. You're not AIG. Shout out to them. You're human. You're allowed to feel certain emotions, and I get it. Sometimes it's the way you've been brought up. You know, sometimes if you shed a tear, that does mean you're a weak warrior. No. If you feel like you're struggling, okay, if you feel as though you are like at a breaking point where you're like, I don't know what else to do, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You're going to call 998, okay? You're going to call that number. And if you're not comfortable with talking to somebody, talk to somebody within your circle. However, the people who listen to Auntie Candace, if you are out there right now, you that's listening to Take Two, okay, and you notice you haven't talked to a friend in about a week or, you know, something like that, call them. Don't text. Call them. FaceTime them. Shoot, go to their house with some McDonald's or something. Because I'm going to tell you something. That alone will change their mood real quick. It means that you care. You know,
especially if you show up with Krispy Kreme.
What? Dude, can we real quick? I know this is serious. You know, Dunkin' Donuts,
right?
Saying Cold Stone ice cream, but no, I mean it's the little, like, you know, kindness goes a long way, and that's something that Billy Miller, you know, was preaching a lot about. Was, you know, kindness matters, and like I said, our mental health in the last couple of years has been off the rail. Like, it's been here and there and everywhere. But seriously, if you are feeling a certain type of way, reach out. Don't be afraid. And if you know somebody who is struggling, reach out to them. Because, again, you never know. Because I always say, it's crazy. You see a picture of Billy Miller, right? He's always smiling. He had one of the best smiles, by the way. And blue, oh, my God, those eyes.
All right, I'm gonna break out a piece from my past. I attended quite a few Super Soap weekends, and back when he played Richie on All My Children, I was at a Super Soap event in Disney, and I was very, very, very good friends with Bree, and so we would always hang out, and we ran into Billy Miller, and he really was the coolest, unaffected, like, hey, man, you know, we were talking cigars, parasailing. It was like just the coolest conversation. He was just so friendly, just so open. And that smile that you saw, it was genuine. And when he had this low, like, guttural chuckle, like a kind of thing, coming out of that smile, it was just like, you know, I'm a little gay boy. Like, oh, marry me. But I never said anything like that. We were just bros hanging, but he was just a really nice guy.
That's really nice to hear.
Yeah, he really was. I mean, I met him, and, you know, I mean, he was that guy that you felt like you've known all your life, that you grew up with.
Yeah.
And then when you get to see him again, it's like, okay, you just picked up where you left off. Because when I met him, it was for Kelly and Billy at their event in New York. And I'm pretty sure, you know, everybody's probably seen it, but I had a New England Patriots hat on. And it was a dig at Kelly because it was that year that New England Patriots versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I know all of y'all was there for that. And the Eagles allegedly won. I don't have no memory of this. Allegedly, this is what happened. But anyway, and Kelly was like, oh, okay. And Billy was like, oh. Like, you know, it was a fun because he was a Cowboys fan. Sorry to the Cowboys fans. And I said I could take off my hat, and Kelly was like, no. And she was like, next year, our teams. And then we looked at Billy, was like, oh, sorry, man. Like, Cowboys, yeah, they did a good season. He was like, no, that's all right. He was like, next year, we got this. We got this on live. He was like, keep the hat on. And we took a picture, and then he gave me a hug, and then he gave me a kiss because it was my birthday weekend. And he was he was such a chill guy. Like, I can't even imagine, like I said, I cannot imagine the hurt because that was his mom's, like, he was her only son. And it's hard when a parent has to bury a child. I know that from experience. But it's just, it was such a shockwave that hit everybody. And it's continuing to do so. And I'm going to say this right now for all those who are on social media and asking for certain people to make a statement. Grieving takes a while. Please respect that.
It takes everybody differently. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I guess since we was talking about General Hospital, we can hop over there because the big story was, so Shaw is the person? Really? Oh, really? And to answer your question, David, I think this is okay. All right, General Hospital, whoever is writing at this point, but Dan and Chris, I'm throwing you under the fire. I feel as though this is a misstep yet again because I clearly recalled that this was supposed to be a guy or somebody older. Now, what I think is that this isn't all Charlotte. I think there's somebody else in the picture. But I also noticed, did anybody notice the tarot cards?
Yes.
That Charlotte had?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did.
And I said this last night. I remember Victor giving Sam tarot cards, and I know it was to deactivate Drew or program Drew. So when I saw those cards, I kept thinking to myself, is this really Shaw, or is she being programmed?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had her in that school. We don't know who she became when she was locked up in the school.
Right. And then you got Jake, which I was like, cake. I'm like, cake, #cake. But then I started thinking about Jake. Unless you, General Hospital, whoever is writing, I'm going to tell you something. If
oh, my
you
God, they're
actually
going to turn them into the natural born killers. Mickey, and what was her name?
Wait a minute, but remember this. Jake remembered seeing Billy Miller's version of Jason on Cassadine Island.
Yeah.
We never got any other confirmation. We never found out what Jake went through on Cassadine Island.
No,
so
they never showed.
Tell me, right. So if hindsight, let's just say, you have them programming, I don't know. But for some reason, GH, you have something interesting. I don't want this to be a mental storyline. I don't even want to me, it's been the whole Charlotte misses her mom, but she faults her father for a lot of stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, something's not adding up. And I need for them to play this beat that I feel as though, again, this is Valentine's story here. There's so many ways they can go with this, but I feel as though this is going to be one of those storylines where
I like the idea that she's programmed to trigger Jake to do whatever he was programmed to do on Cassadine Island.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a whole legacy thing. That was part of Victor's will. Only what's his name? The father, Valentine. Sorry, only Valentine can break the programming that's in them, but he's got to find whatever cue that sets them off. I could see this being a very interesting storyline if it goes that way. I'm okay with that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Just, okay, then what's up with this NFA? I don't know. You were right, Candace. You were right. It went off the rails. It was moving towards interesting. They had a direction, and then they pulled the rug out from under it. Though I will say
and they give it Charlotte.
I was but I'm going to skip over to another storyline just for a second, because I was so into Miss Wu being all flirty and flippant in the club with the boo thing. I thought that was a great scene. Otherwise, the storyline sucks. I'm really confused, General Hospital. You took us on a path, and now you're going off on all the other tangents again. Candace, am I wrong?
No, and this is before the strike happened. I'm just going to say this, General Hospital. You're going to hear this a lot. I don't understand the writing process that you guys have over there right now. I feel as though there's 4 shows going on, and nothing is really like, and you notice I said 4, because I feel as though like when I'm watching General Hospital, I feel as though we're breaking it into 4 shows, 4 little shows.
Yes. It's Sunny, Carly, like, Mob World story.
Right.
Then there's the the Portia Curtis Marshall drama. Blah blah blah.
That. Don't get me started with that. The only show that I'm
then
interested
you got the
in,
Sasha.
Right. You got the hospital section of it. Then you have what I like to call the younger version of Port Charles.
Yep.
Before the vampires, y'all. Like, if y'all was a true Port Charles fan, you know what I'm talking about. But
before the vampires?
Before the vampires.
Yeah, before they broke it up into when it was Jack, Libby,
when it was an
actual
Jamal,
soap opera.
Yeah, Allison. Like, we actually had good.
Girl, come back.
Candace, you're still here. Yeah.
But right now, I just feel as though General Hospital is all over the place, and. But always nice to see Mrs. Wu. I just need them to utilize her a little bit heavier in a storyline that needs to start being put together. And that's if she did something with the paternity. Like the paternity. And where's Brad? This show. I'm going to be nice. I talked to my soap therapist. They told me to try to be nice for General Hospital. But it's hard.
It's difficult.
I'm just shaking my head.
What can we do?
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Thank you for giving us Blair. I enjoyed it. It was okay. No. No.
Can I do it? Please, can I do it?
It was okay. That's where I leave it.
Go ahead, Candace. Go ahead.
Okay. I told y'all. Let me wait a minute. I'm gonna do Anthony. I told you. So I told you. All right, General Hospital fans. This is to you only. Listen to what I'm saying. General Hospital fans. I saw all of the comments. I've said this. You guys want General Hospital. You want your show, your characters, and your storylines. Hold on.
And there was a way to do it because Blair had relationships in Port Charles. Those scenes made no sense. We didn't need them. They added nothing to the storyline. They gave us a little brief, my little son, Dad, oh, my God, I felt wounded. I felt stabbed multiple times in my heart, soap style.
Me too.
I was cured the next day, but I felt the stabbing.
And I have a question. I have a question for you, too. I have a question for you,
Go ahead, David.
Too. David Vickers, really?
Oh, my God. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. Okay, Anthony, let me go. Okay.
Go.
Now to the One Life to Live fans who watches General Hospital, I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah.
I felt your pain when they said that Blair slept with David Vickers. I said, hold up, time out. I need more explanation for this. And see, this is where the problem lies. Because first and foremost, it's always nice to see Cassie DePaiva back on ABC. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Her on ABC, all Blair Kramer all the time. Okay, thank you. To me, Frank, I know this is you. You did what you was going to do. You shocked us. You shocked us when you said David. Now, if you would have said Max Holden, I would have been like, yup, okay. You could have said that her and Todd got drunk one night. You mean to tell me? Or even just for the fun of it all, you could have actually said, wait a minute, no, you could have said Cutter. And I'm going to tell you why I said that.
Yeah.
Because he's now Cody.
Right. You could have had Josh Kelly run on by or something like that when she said, it could have been a cute little thing. But again, I know people don't want to acknowledge the online version of One Life to Live, which you should, because that would have made more sense if Cutter and her got together, okay? But when you said David, I was like, nuh-uh, not the one that stole the baby and made her go crazy, made her sick, and not for nothing. So what does that mean about Dorian? Like, I need some answers. I understand the shock value of it all, and I understand to the General Hospital only fans, you didn't understand why people were going off of social media. But to the One Life to Live fans, this was such a wait a minute.
Yep.
But here's the problem now. This is what I was saying. You had Cassie DePaiva on for 2 episodes. Yes, on Friday, she gelled in. You got the backstory about her and Martin, that Martin stole the idea, that Lucy ran with it, and all that stuff. Okay. On Monday, and this was the day that I kept saying, we need some, General Hospital, they have been doing this a lot. They take the second day of whether it's Jack Montgomery or Nora Buchanan, and now we can add Blair Kramer to give us some light on what's been going on the past years in Llanview and Pine Valley. And this is where it's irritating because it's like, for us who lost All My Children and One Life to Live, we still have more questions than answers. Because, again, you said David Vickers, again, the history just came out of nowhere. It's like, if there's one person that would sleep with David, it would have been Kelly. But we're never going to see any of that. And it's a mixture because, again, we're happy to see Cassie DePaiva back on ABC. But
okay, now I'm going to step in there and I'm going to say this. ABC, if this was a test to see if Cassie DePaiva still had the Blair in her, oh, yes, she passed. She's definitely still Blair. There is so much storyline you could actually weave her into. Give her a 6-month contract, bring her on, and play this all out like a lot of fun. Have her go see her friend Carly, have them talk, have them understand, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Anthony, you know I love you, right? You know that, right? General Hospital, the current General Hospital, the current state of General Hospital can't do that yet. And the reason, and this is why I said I get that Frank wanted to do this because, again, now that you have the rights back, you can do it. But not at the expense of General Hospital because right now General Hospital is all over the place. It's not like it was back in 2013 or 2012.
Okay, you know what? Yes, and that is the larger conversation. Because what they have to do is they have to pull these dangling storylines together, and they have the perfect place to pull it together with, and that is Miss Selena Wu. Miss Selena Wu is actually tied to most of these storylines either directly or tangentially. And if you start weaving it all back together, instead of waving, oh, my God, Mason Austin, the mystery boss, pull it up, let's roll it on back. It's been Cyrus and Wu all along. Cyrus and Wu. Now we got the Warden. Oh, my God, we got the Warden, too. She got an agenda. I don't care about the Warden. I don't know what her problems are because we don't know her, and I don't want to know her. There's too many people in this storyline.
You got to start chopping, the Gregory ALL storyline. Okay, I'm going to start right there. Literally just did this storyline 3 years ago. Now, if you're going to tell me that he was misdiagnosed, I'm going to have another problem with this because I feel as though if you don't know what to do, this is a golden rule of soaps, folks. Everybody come around. If you don't know what to do with a character that's been on for almost a year, 2 years, you have to do two things. Write the character off, okay, until you figure out how you're going to utilize this character. Do not waste our time as well as their time while trying to figure it out as you go along. This is lazy.
Yeah, don't put them having a deadly disease, hoping we're going to care for them, which actually I'll give you just a little bit of credit, General Hospital. You actually made a good number of us care for him. But don't make it, don't. Yeah, there's a nice fan base out there that does care about him and is, it's kind of cute. But no. Don't put him in and then all of a sudden he was misdiagnosed or somebody gets the mystery cure, mystery magical, the alien landed, and
because
when
who they're going to bring
it,
back next.
Whatever.
Because did you guys get the hint of who they're going to bring back next on General Hospital?
Yeah, they want to bring Matt.
Yeah, Griffin.
They want to bring back Griffin.
Yeah.
There's thought.
For what? To cure Gregory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, now
I don't know if I believe it, but that talk is out there.
It's a couple of things. It's the dialogue.
Okay, I believe that as much as I believe that the way they're doing Nicholas is to quote unquote set the grand reveal for when Tyler Christopher takes the role back. I don't think that's happening.
No.
And if that is what's happening, you're playing the storyline so stupid. But go ahead.
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
But here's the thing. That's the problem because again, let's all pull it back a little bit. Let's pull it back because there's some hidden agendas going on with this storyline. Okay. I like Michael Easton. Okay. Let me preface this right now. The character of Finn has expired.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
They tried everything to make this character pop. Here's the thing. You had him with Hayden. You had him with Anna. You made the valuable mistake, let me say this for the people in the back, of connecting him to Elizabeth's story with her parents.
That was I didn't care for that.
This is such a slap. That to me was the death of Finn. To me was like you're trying to really make him work, and I'm not going to say whose fault it is, but this is one of those times where it's like, okay, we need to cut him, but wait, we're going to give him the emotional story of he could be Chase's father. So we bring in Jackie Templeton, played by Kim Delaney. How dare y'all waste Kim Delaney like that? General Hospital.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
How?
He should have been used more.
I know.
How did you not have a scene with her and Michael E. Knight? How did you not have a scene with her and Michael E. Knight? My question to that. Okay, Candace, let it go. Okay.
They did.
Oh, I had to blink. I must have missed it.
It was a quickie.
Okay.
It was her and Valentine.
Oh, soccer.
Oh, my God, that's right. Okay, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
It was with Valentine, that's right. Because when he said that, I'm like, no, they didn't. And then
I'm like,
with yes. Go ahead, girl.
Okay. Again, must have missed it on purpose. Okay, so then you have him and his father. His father comes back. There's a lot of, broken, spirits and stuff, and now he's dying.
Yeah, Curtis Part 2. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's dying. ALS. We just did this storyline. You're now trying
Curtis Part 2. 2.0.
Here's the thing. General Hospital, I understand what season this is. This is Emmy real season. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying really hard for Gregory and for Michael to get an Emmy nominations here. The problem is that, I'm going to say it, neither character is working. It's not Michael Easton's fault. It's not Gregory's fault. It's the writing for the characters that is doing a disservice to them. This is one of those times where General Hospital, you have literally 40-something cast members on your show. You need to take a page out of your book from the 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
It was around that time of the year where some soaps forget about this. It's called sweeps. You need to do something now because you can have another Port Charles Hotel fire. You could have something like Selena Wu and them going bloodshed crazy, okay? And people get caught up or people make a decision to leave Port Charles because it's not too safe. You have that storyline going on, right? Okay. No offense, but Willow. David, I'm sorry to say that.
Hold up, Candace. I'm going to stop you right there.
You don't have to apologize for that. I agree.
You have Miss Jane Elliott as Tracy, and you have her bickering stupidity with Gregory. Come on.
Now, here's the crazy part. I have a funny feeling I know how they're going to write him out just based off of that alone. Because I was over here questioning that. I was like, why would you have Tracy and Gregory? Like, I see something, but I'm not invested because, again, I'm not invested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that we're on time with Jane Elliott. So to me, are you guys kind of starting to wrap up something, and maybe this is something that's going to be together, right?
Yep.
Because, and I'm going to be honest with you, the whole Alexis stuff, have her be a lawyer again. I swear, I can't. This is as bad as Newman Media.
Oh my God.
No, because to me, Alexis, when I saw Alexis going over the legal stuff, I was like, I missed her being a lawyer. Her place, like General Hospital, you've been writing a lot of your characters out of character. And I need for somebody to reel it back in. Because I'm like, Alexis as sort of like, the Lewis Lane and all that stuff is not working. I'm going to say this right now. General Hospital, and I love Avery. Don't get it twisted. Esme's got to go. And I'm going to tell you why. Y'all have done a disservice to this character. Y'all played it so backwards that it's not even funny anymore. It's like, it's been a year now.
To me too.
It's been a full year almost since she's had amnesia. I'm going to help you guys out a little bit. Anthony, David, and you guys watch soap, so you know what I'm going to say. Spencer and Trina, y'all need to stop using Esme to do that with Trina and Spencer. To me, what you could have done, okay, check this out. Spencer and Trina are already in their couple era. This is months ago, okay? You could have had it where, okay, Esme does have amnesia. That's how I said it, right? Okay. And she's kind of like loopy. Spencer, of course,
okay,
is
but
playing
hold
along.
up, Candace. Just factor in Cameron is coming back in 2 weeks.
Okay, but still, it's still the
So I think that's going to play into this whole situation.
But see,
so
again,
I think we're going to see a little bit.
But see, it's a little too late because here's the thing.
No, honey, hear me. She's going to meet him with amnesia. They're going to, they're not meet him, but reconnect with him with the amnesia. They're going to have that little flirtatious thing going. It's going to feel all that, and then bam, she's going to get her memories back, and she's going to have to make moral choices and things. Oh, we're going to have to go through it with her. And then, are we going to find out? Is anyone going to find out I see the whole storyline enemy.
I can tell you, I'm going to tell you that, again, it's a little too late because I'm going to tell you why I said this. To me,
Go
he
ahead.
should have also been the one to find out what Dex was really up to.
Yep.
Blackmail on blackmail on blackmail, okay? To me, you could have had where Esme got her memory back, but she's playing. She's playing now because she now got the sympathy of Trina. She got a little bit of, Jaws, Dex, like she's playing the innocent victim. But behind closed doors, she is plotting like nobody's business. And this is where Dex comes in, or does something. And Esme is starting to freak out. She's like, okay, please don't tell them that my memory's back. And then Dex is like, well, what's in it for me? And Esme is like, I don't know. I won't do anything. But then that's when Esme finds out that Dex was behind the phone call to call Sonny and them all in. So it's sort of like, you think you're going to blackmail me with something? Guess what? I can blackmail you even harder because I'm going to tell your precious Jocelyn that you're the one who called and all this stuff about Sonny and everything, and that you were working for Michael and all that stuff. You could have played it during, and I'm going to tell you when, the summer.
Yeah. And it would have been interesting.
Right. You're also, could also be titillating. There could have been such a big story, but I feel as though once you revealed that, first and foremost, Esme was not the Hook killer, and you don't have neither of her parents on the set. You don't have Heather, you don't have Ryan. You really have isolated her into trying to figure out. This reminds me of what they did with Nell back in the day before they wound up. You have her just there, though. And then you got Laura and Alexis and all of them saying, oh, she's such a good girl. She's such a wonderful. The heck? Who is these people? The pod people. That's the story on General Hospital. But no, I'm just saying, you really, that's another person you can cut. The Molly TJ storyline, look, I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Is take the actors out. The problem with this storyline is, one, we don't see Molly and TJ that much for us to even care about a surrogate. Two, Molly versus Christina, I'm going to be honest with you. If you had the
I don't know where that came from.
Right. But here's the thing. If you had the OGs there and you played that beat, meaning we would actually see Christina and Molly on a regular instead of 3 months, separated, I would probably care. They have ruined, I'm going to be honest, the Davidson girls is not the same anymore. The writing isn't there anymore. It's literally strangers that I'm seeing. I don't feel connecting. If you would bring back Phyllis's, I've been saying this, Phyllis' sister and TJ slept together. That's your story. If you want Molly to be a mama so bad, and them talking about it, all of a sudden have Felix's sister come back to Port Charles and be like, hey, y'all, this is my son. This is Tyrone James. We call him TJ. What? What do you mean call him TJ? Yeah, we call him TJ. And then somebody says, he kind of looks like, that could be the story, to find out that TJ is already a father. How would that impact him and Molly? Come on, it's not that hard, GH, but you need to start trimming the fat real quick because, we're trying to get skinny so we can get ready for Thanksgiving. So, it's just, but to go back to the Blair Kramer stuff, if this was 2013, heck, if it was 2013 on back, because we all remember when they used to use these crossovers. You would have Sky, you would have Ray, but another factor is you had All My Children and One Life to Live on.
Yeah.
We don't have that, and that's the problem. I'm speaking to the One Life to Live, All My Children fans who are watching General Hospital. And for the General Hospital fans, it's like, who cares? Who cares about Blair Kramer and Jackson Montgomery and Naga fucking Loga? I don't know. They just want their show. They just want their show to be balanced and the pacing and good storylines and good payoff.
I understand both sides because it has always been my number one show, and yet I love all three of the shows.
Right.
So the little tidbits mean something to me, and when it was David Vickers, I was like, no, you didn't just do that. No.
Anthony,
But anyway,
Wait, Anthony, did you do the whole stomp your foot, like, kind of like, wait a minute, let me rewind that moment back in my head. Did she just say David Vickers, or am I going crazy? Okay.
I did the spit take version of it. I was sipping out of a metal water bottle with a metal straw, and I went all over. And I went, no. I said, no. He did not do that to us. Because I did. I blame that on Frank. I said, he did not do that to us.
And you know what was laughing?
And then my second thought was, I'm going to have to try to explain this to people because people consider me a bit of a soap opera guru. I can't explain this. Yeah. This was not a good move. I'm sorry.
Then you know what else irked me? Okay, check this out. If I was in charge of General Hospital or the writers, being one of the, ad writers, I would have done this just for the fun, because they did this. I remember when they did this, when Ron and Friends did this, with Kelly Monaco and Michael Easton.
Yeah.
To me, I was hoping, I swear I was hoping that Blair Kramer and Austin would be at the bar or something, and Blair's like looking, like kind of like it could have been a fake. It wouldn't have been no dialogue. It would just been like Blair was just coming out, out of a building or something, and she bumps into Austin, and he was like, "I'm sorry," and Blair's just looking, and then they go off in different directions after looking at each other and fade out. That would have been so cute and such a nod that yes, we did. We do know what you guys wanted to see, kind of that, because. If you guys know, if y'all didn't know, real quick before we move on, Cassie DePavi said in an interview, she didn't know Roger was going to be on set, and Roger didn't know that Cassie was coming to GH. So if you saw the pictures, it was literally genuine. Like, Roger was so happy to see Cassie, and vice versa, and people was like, oh, you would think. You know what? I'm okay.
Yep, done. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go to Salem, and I can't take the lead on this one. I can't. I'm for Klimt.
No,
Someone else take the lead on Dave.
Let David do it.
Well,
go ahead, David.
Salem? Oh God.
Yeah.
Where do you want me to start, Teresa?
No. Save that for last.
Save that one for last.
Direct him, Candace. Direct him.
Okay.
Direct me, please.
Okay. So the first story we want to talk about on Days of Our Lives is, I'm just going to get this over with. Sean slept with Talia.
Tune in tomorrow.
And then Sean going to come downstairs and said that Jada told him, like, let him stay there. And they was talking to Jada, and Jada had no clue what the heck they was talking about. So apparently, oh well. And okay.
Are we into the era where we're going to have the massive exits right now?
Not yet. I mean, well, starting October 13th, we're going to have 2 of them. Well, actually, starting sooner because Jen Lilly. And then the following weeks are going to be,
So we have some more with Jen, yeah?
We got, I think, maybe 1 more, 2 more. But then the young lady who plays Talia, she's leaving too. Which brings me to my point. Days of Our Lives, Ron.
What?
Jamie.
What?
All you guys, hi. I'm Candace. I said this 6 months ago, and I would like to thank you guys for proving me right. Talia was supposed to be a good character. She was. She was supposed to be kind of an interesting character, kind of mix it up a little bit and whatnot. You paired her up with, what was that boy's name? I can't think of his name. What was Stallone's brother's name?
Colin.
Yeah, see, that proves my point, by the way. 6 months later, don't remember him. You had no idea, no direction where Talia was going at. Let's be honest, you didn't. Because you had her, and this is not the actress's fault, this is a writing decision. You had her kind of drop her identity because she was in love. And you could have played a real important beat because, again, it doesn't have to be physical but emotional abuse, okay? You could have played that. Then you had her with Chanel. Next.
Matt.
Then you go ahead and you dangle her. This is what I'm talking about. When you have a character and you just don't know what to do with this character. So then you do the one thing that you should have done with another character, and you have her sleep with Sean. Now, I know what y'all saying to yourself, Candace, but oh my God, this is great for Sean because Bella's always been the cheater. Can I tell y'all something? Can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
I don't care. I'm going to tell you why I don't care. Because this isn't the first time that Sean slept with somebody outside of his marriage. Let me take you back almost a year ago where he slept with who he thought was Belle, but really was Jan Spears.
Ding, 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 ding. Thank you.
It was considered a rape storyline. For those who don't know, Sean was raped, okay? They dropped the ball on that. Right. Okay. You have Belle and EJ. Okay. That was interesting, but you dropped that ball too. Yeah. You don't show Belle and Sean. You don't show Belle and Sean for quite a hot minute until Bo got shot and everything. But still. So now you have Talia and Sean slept together because Sean feels all kinds of things. I could have bought this a little bit more if I had seen them a little bit more. So let me guess what's going to happen, Dave. Unprotected sex and homegirl is leaving. Could this actually be the child that was supposed to have happened with Sean that we're going to see years later? Okay, guess what? I don't care. Anthony, take it away.
Okay.
Anthony, Candace doesn't care.
I don't care either. I'm going to say this. 6 months ago, I said to you, Dave, I said, okay, you've given us this chick. All right, you've got something interesting here. I gave you a couple of ideas of what to do with her. You chose not to listen. You put her in awkward situation after awkward situation. And then you're going to give us the she is running out with Sean's baby storyline? No. No, no, no.
Are we going to find out she's pregnant and then she leaves? Or are we going to, is she just going to leave, you think?
I don't care. We'll find out some way. I don't know, excuse my language. Kristen will probably find out somehow.
Sure. I mean, children might find out. Like, to me, okay, if you're going to try to cause angst between Sean and Belle, and see, this is where Candace is going to get on her high horse. To me, Belle and Sean should be leading the pack of storylines.
They should.
For Dave not to be invested in Belle and Sean it's just wrong.
It's an outrage.
Right. The fact that we're losing Martha Madison in a couple, that actually hers is coming up soon too. The fact that we're losing Martha Madison, you really dropped the ball on Sean and Belle in this stage of the game, because there was so many avenues that you could actually, going back to him being raped. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. He was raped. Okay, a man was raped on Days of Our Lives. Shocking, I know. But the problem is that you don't have any investment in Belle and Sean. And I can honestly say that because in the last couple of years, I was really sitting here, and because, again, with Brandon Beamer saying this, that his version of Sean never had scenes with John Anderson. And I was like, no, that's not right. That's not right. That's
but
true.
It is right.
But it's true.
That's
when I was like, wait a minute, okay. Yes, they are the children of two popular super couples of all time. there should be a little bit more investment in Bella and Sean, but it's not. So now you're going to do this whole, well, Sean finally got to be the cheater, and he has to live
and what,
with the
Belle
guilt.
can't get over it, and she's got to leave.
Right. It's kind of like, okay, and next. Literally, next.
Yeah.
David, what do you feel about this?
I feel there's some things that I wasn't aware of that Brandon and John never had a scene together. So that's like, so
Nope.
then knowing that, it doesn't fall, things aren't falling right for me. They never. I think I remember one scene that they had.
But what we're saying, David, is think about how many storylines where there should have been or could have been interaction.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to hold back on Teresa a little bit. I'm baffled and confused. You're breaking all these relationships up to do what? There's sort of a cohesive blowing up of all relationships right now. Candace, do you know what I mean?
Like, who are you talking about?
I know what you mean. There's no unity.
Well, some of them, because I'm thinking of one right now, and I'm just like shaking my head because I'm just like, dang, you've not only ruined that parent, but you also ruined the character in this. I'm just gonna. I don't know if it was the same character you're talking about or whatnot, but I'm talking about Sarah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. She's broke. Y'all. Okay, go ahead, Candace.
Sarah Horton, when you first had her come on, she was smart. She was savvy. She had it all together. When you paired her up with Xander, there was a change in that man. Like, he really was in love with her. Like, we hear it all the time, is love can change a bad boy. Okay. They were that couple. They were sugar and spice and everything nice, especially when he took off his shirt. What's up, Paul?
Yep. I agree.
After she left and came back, I have no idea what happened. To me, this character is just a walking cartoon. And again, this is nothing to do with Lindsay, because I heard a lot of people saying this. It's, again, the writing and the fact that you really don't know this character anymore. You have let this character go off the rail. Okay. We got her being pregnant. She's passing off as Rex's baby. Rex, I'm going to deal with you later. You're doing the same thing that you did last time. You didn't learn anything? Okay. Now, you, out of obligation, you feel as though, like, okay, I still can't tell Xander that this baby. So you named the child after Victor and Maggie. I was howling. I was like, okay. Now we have it where you asked Maggie. David and Anthony, listen to what this girl did. She asked Maggie to marry her and Rex.
Yep.
That was off the rail.
I'm like, hold up. And then you got Rex. You better be glad you're pretty, because stupidity is all over your face. How y'all going to have an open conversation with Philip's like, I got to tell you something. Xander's the father. I'm not. And how convenient was Chloe just standing there? I'm like, okay, Chloe, now I know you ain't going to be able to talk because, baby, you have kept some paternity secrets yourself, so we're not going to do this today. But I'm just thinking to myself, okay, what? Like, you ruined, literally, Xander and Sarah was that couple. Like, in all honesty, I really did enjoy it. I found myself actually falling for them. But the writing for Sarah Horton, my God. It's like, if you compare her, and here's the thing, it's the same writer, so I can't think, it was wrong. You take a look at the first 2 years she was on the show versus the last couple of weeks, two different characters. You lost her sight. You lost sight. I didn't mean it like that, but you lost her characteristics. You lost something along the way, and sadly, you're not going to be able to get it back. Especially about this baby.
When did you first see that downfall of Candace?
When she came back as Renee, like after she was cured from being Renee.
Yep.
Like when she became Sarah again, and her and Xander had that angst and all that stuff, I felt as though you really just made that decision that they're not going to be the end game anymore, which is fine. Let me preface this. Right now, they don't have to be, but at least give me some kind of reunion where everything is fine, but then you rip them apart, and then you're going to have her carry the one thing that Xander really did. Like, he loved that baby. Like, yeah, he did a lot of things the first time with that baby, but he really does want, he's now in that state where he wants to be mature and be able to take care, and he loves Sarah. But now you kind of ruined that because of everything under the moon and the stars and everything, and then you got Rex. And I'm just like, wow, you really ruined them. So, I'm like, whew.
I can't really add anything more to that. David, go ahead, go with Teresa.
Well, Teresa comes back for the funeral, and she ends up trying to follow Brady and Alex to Greece and all of that, and we get a surprise from Daddy, who brings the things from Victor's house. And we do know that there is that chance that she might have done something to change that will. I wouldn't put it past her. We don't know how much time that was, but what do you think? 3 simple letters?
Like I said,
A-L-E?
Here's my thing. And I got deep real quick about this.
Yeah.
When it was broadcast to social media via Soap Opera Digest that Alex was Victor's son, I started laughing because I knew every fan was going to go crazy over this.
Mm-hmm.
But this tells me something. If you, and I'm gonna be honest with you, if you are a Days of Our Lives fan, you understand why this might be a thing. Let me break it down to you. Once upon a time, there was a character named Angelica. Y'all remember Angelica, played by Jane Elliott? She was Priggers. Victor
in Judith
knew
Chapman,
Justice.
too.
Yep, and Judith Chapman. But this mostly was Jane Elliott. So Victor knew that it was a possibility that was Justin's kid, but Angelica was involved with Neil Curtis, who is whose father? Everybody? Come on.
Sarah's sister's
Sarah's
father.
daddy. Yep. Mm-hmm. So then Victor, in order to kind of do some stuff to get her away from Neil, was like, I'll pass that baby off as my baby and marry you. But that didn't happen. Now, years later, we're dealing with this. This is what I love about when history is played, and some people don't know that, like that little bit of history. But also, Xander's name is not really Xander. Okay?
No, it's Alejandro. I can't pronounce it. But it sounds the same.
Right. And not for nothing. Do you know how many Alexander Kyriakises are in the Kyriakis family? I'm just saying. So, to me, I feel as though there's a couple of things here. One, a lot of people are saying they didn't have any idea what they were. This is what I'm talking about. Obviously, the funeral was a bust because everybody was like, well, this person should have been there, da-da-da-da. I always say what happens after the funeral is the story. To me, we have a lot of beats. Right. We have a lot of beats. Where was Victor going other than seeing Bo and Hope? Does Megan DeMira have something to do with this, okay? Because I don't think this was an accidental. Like, I don't think this was like, you know, like, oh, he was on a plane and all of a sudden it went down. No, I think there was somebody who tampered with this. We also got to think about the fact that Vivian and him was still legally married. Does Vivian have something to do with this rule change, right? There's so many beats being played that I think before the story even started, people was already turning their nose up at it because, yeah, you do have Teresa because here's the thing. Teresa, I don't like how Teresa is right now, but I can't say she's out of character because when she needs something, she desperately does something. Case in point, when John was in a coma, she blamed Brady, even though she's the one who did it. The fact is that she's been trying to, she keeps saying, like, Alex was like, so what are you trying to do? And Teresa was like, I'm trying to make Brady jealous. And I'm thinking, so you're using Alex. So Alex is already in the web of Teresa, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
I'm curious as to what's going to happen, especially today, spoiler alert, Maggie and Justin saw the will and was kind of completely shocked.
Right, and Angelica's letter. So maybe Teresa didn't do anything.
But I'm not going to take her off my suspect list. Like, I feel as though Vivian, her, and I'm going to say a third party. I don't know who the third party is, but to me, this could be a really good storyline because I want to tell you right now, and I know why people are turning their noses up at it because I'm going to just say it, pull the wool off, is because of Robert. I'm going to say this, though. Robert, Wally Kurth, if the material is there, it's about to be on. It's about to be on. And yes, I'm bringing Paul Taffner in this because obviously we know if you connect the dots, you probably can figure this out. To me, this is a good story that's going to use Vivian, Maggie, Teresa. You're going to have a lot of people. It was always nice to see Charles. I was like, hey, Jay. I was like, hey, what's up? What's going on? What's up? Good job, Dave, for keeping that quiet, by the way. You're doing good with these casting announcements, by the way. But then you have, you know, not only that, but we also got a little bit, like with Teresa at the funeral, she said that Tate couldn't come, which I was like, really? But then they get a phone call. Apparently he's been expelled. Tate, what you do? What did you do? Or are you a part of a plan with your mama? Are y'all going all this now?
And let you get to know Lil Rachel. Let you get to know Lil Rachel.
Now, we do know that it was confirmed today, even though if you saw the ice cream photos that they took last week for celebrating 1 year at Peacock, you probably saw them.
Right.
But they have a new actress who's playing Holly and also Tate. So I guess they're going to be a thing. I don't know. We'll see. Dave, you have an assignment. You better do it. Justice, or else I'm coming after you. But, yeah, so right now I'm curious as to all of this because I'm just like, I don't think what everybody is thinking is happening. Like to me, Alex is not Victor's child, obviously. But I like the fact that they playing the beat of history, though. That's what I'm liking.
Right,
so,
they are.
We'll see what happens.
History. We want to go B&B?
All right. Yeah, let's go B&B. Go ahead, David.
All right. Well, I am still, like I said 2 weeks ago, I sort of identify with Eric and RJ's story because I'm a man of a certain age, and I'm not as old as Eric is, but I feel those things the same as he does. That he wants to feel useful as he gets, even though he's aging. So I feel it's a good take on ageism. On the other hand, Candace, I remember hearing you from the other, what was it, last night, that they always want to use John for a health storyline.
Yep.
And this would have been probably better if they didn't do the ED one.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys noticed what my running thing has been tonight. It's that time of the season for Emmy reels when they're starting to get really like emotionally charged for next year's Emmy, nominations and stuff like that. My problem, and it's funny that you said that because around this time last year, the year before was the ED stuff. It was around this time frame. My thing is that John McCook, all this whole year, you haven't really done much with him. I mean, the Carter and Quinn stuff, you didn't really have him much involved in with Steffi, was shy, all that stuff. Okay. You then have him have this outburst of, people, it feels like people are not acknowledging him, like he's not even a thought anymore, which is fine because it's your company. But then when you go ahead to try to, again, make this story work and connect, you do two things. One, based off of his age, you go ahead and you have him have a health scare or a health crisis. That's what pulls in the emotional part versus him just being really upset of how the company has taken shape, how people have kind of walked away from the vision of the company, how it's not really much a family unit. It's a me.
Candace, I'm gonna break it down in one word for you. Basically,
he's like Victor Newman.
You don't turn it into a tantrum.
Right. You don't take
turn
away
it into a tantrum.
Right. You don't take away what works to try to make it your own. Plus, real time, it's so many scandals at Forster Creations that it's not even funny. So to me, you could have done that without the, health crisis. You could have had, RJ, and this is what I'm going to say about Bold. I'm kind of disappointed with you guys with RJ. To me, RJ should have came in because this is not the first time we've dealt with a teenage version of RJ, okay? You could have had RJ kind of on the fence of what he wants to do. Does he want to be a content creator? Does he want to be like, one of these social media people? Like, does he think he has a hand into fashion design? Do he, where is his place? And this is where Eric can say, you remind me a little bit of your father. However, I'm not going to tell you. And you have RJ kind of looking at his grandfather, kind of, kind of studying him a little bit. And then you have RJ kind of blend in, like say, hey, Granddad, did you ever think about, maybe doing Forster Creations via video game or content? Like bridge that gap where you're teaching your grandfather something new, but still, like, it's something that he likes. You could have done that, and that gets under somebody's skin a little bit of, wait a minute, Pop never really did this with me. Why is he doing this? Like, you could have really done that without the whole he has arthritis. And I'm going to tell you something. People who have arthritis.
Probably not arthritis.
Right, but see, that's the problem. It's like, again, just like Gregory on General Hospital, just like hindsight, the rumor about Victor on Young and Restless, just like on Days of Our Lives and whatnot, you have these older characters, and you can't think of anything else but a health storyline. Like, not everybody in these age brackets are sick.
Yeah.
This is a soap trope where if a storyline isn't working or you need that emotional pull, you go for the medical stuff. especially, John McCook is a man of a certain age. He's been through health scare, ED, his wife, he pimped his wife out, he, had Donna, he's lust after everybody in the Logan family except for Katie. He, now all of a sudden.
And even a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, well, a little bit, yeah. But it's just like, come on now, you can't think of anything else for him. Because here's the thing, this is going to be your next storyline, right? This is going to be the emotional storyline. What's going on with Eric? On a special Bold and Beautiful. Rich finds out. And then it's the whole, could this be the final Christmas, the final Thanksgiving? Oh, come, like, that's it. And then guess what happens in January? You don't see Eric for a while. And then around March, you see him, and he's doing okay. He's, making progress because, with arthritis and everything. He's taking Tylenol or Bear aspirin. Shout out to them. And that's it. You're not going to really play on it as much as you, quote unquote. Case in point, I'll give you a really good case. Katie still has kind of has to have her heart updated, right? When's the last time we saw that? When's the last time we saw that?
Oh, jeez.
Last
year or maybe year before?
Okay,
year
prove
before.
my point. Yeah, prove my point.
Before. Yep.
So, I can't.
Well,
yeah.
I'm going to say this. I agree 100%. You didn't have to mix the two storylines. You could have actually pulled this storyline off alone. And he is a vital man. And you keep dangling these things, and you make other storylines less and less believable. You don't have to prove a point. You don't have to throw, just because he had amazing material 2 years ago, you don't have to put him through the ringer what's next? Is he going to find, his granddaughter's chopped head in his bed? You don't have to bring out every emotion you can possibly get. It could have stood on its own, and I think you're playing with fire with the dangling of that vitality drainingness of his character. All right. Let's go. I know, girl, you must be ready to go for your Young and Restless.
Yep.
We ain't gonna talk about real quick the rest of Vogue. Come on now. You gotta talk about it. Come on, we gotta talk about it.
Michael Corbett.
Okay, there's two things.
That was a little bit good, but yes.
Yeah. Let me get myself ready for this. Douglas, trying to hook his parents up. Are y'all kind of now over Thomas and Hope, or were you under Thomas and Hope? And what was this with Douglas? Literally, what the heck was this? Y'all know what I'm saying.
Okay. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so 3 episodes ago. I knew this was one of two things that they were going to do. I knew it. I'm not happy. I can live with it. Let's see what happens. But no. And your other one, Candace? Go ahead.
And then, let me just clarify something real quick. Thomas, leave Liam's name out of your mouth. Because, seriously, this is my problem. Okay, first of all, writers. Hi, how you doing? I still need a POV of Hope. I do not need Douglas to be drinking the same Kool-Aid as his auntie and his father. By the way, Anthony, I told you so. I told you so. I told you
yes,
Douglas
you
was Thomas.
Yeah.
This is my thing. Thomas needs to kind of start worrying about Douglas a little bit because Douglas is a little.
Yeah.
I love my children, but Douglas is something that y'all need to be focusing on. And Hope, I understand you have two families. You really do have two families. Now you know how everybody else feels. It's like you can't pick and choose based off of your emotions. Do I think you're using Thomas? Yes, I do, girl, because the thing is you don't want to commit. And I understand because you're scared of commitment right now. You are. Plus, Liam did you dirty. However, Hope, you made this bid. You need to lay in it. And Thomas, don't you start. Don't you start, because here's the thing. This is your dream come true right now. But you're going to F this up too, just like Hope is. I'm sorry. I can't get on board with this knowing, that. Okay. Deacon Sharp. Ding, 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 ding. Sharp. You are so far gone with Sheila. First and foremost, I'm going to applaud you on something. You had a boss move. I'm proud of you for this part, because even though everybody is saying this is not in character, I'm sorry. I remember Young and the Russells. I remember certain things from both. Homeboy spent time in jail. You don't think he made connections in jail? Like, in all honesty, to me, him calling the judge and everything, that was kind of a shocker in its own right. But everybody is like saying, oh, this is the end of Deacon Sharp, because once people find out, especially Hope, this is going to be the end game. To me, no, it's not, because I'm having this weird feeling. I don't know if y'all have had the feeling too. We also got Lee over there telling Finn, you brought this, like, you did this, you got to end Sheila. You got to end Sheila. Finn is over there kind of conflicted, and I understand that. He feels as though, like, okay, all I did was do this. Baby, you still don't know your mother. To me, I don't know if Bo is going to do this, because if they do this, I'm going to say this right now on September 25th. If Bo does this, I will be in complete and utter shock if they decide to kill Sheila Carter off. Yep. Because to me, you have the meat. You have the material for a good meal. You have Finn, who, I'm sorry, he's not going to do it organically. He's going to be provoked to do it, especially if Sheila does some harm to his family. You got Deacon. He got a lot going on, because the thing is that Finn has always been, to me, and I'm going to separate this. The way that they have wrote Finn is, he is not like Liam in the sense. I get that. But Finn does not want anybody to touch his space. Okay? He wants to protect his woman, his queen, and the children, right? He doesn't want nobody to do that. However, let the record show, Finn does have a dark side, y'all. Y'all just haven't seen it in a while. Case in point, he beat the crap out of Vinny. He was like, bop, 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 bop. Him going over to Liam verbally was assaulting. And not for nothing, let's go back 3 years ago. We still don't know who Finn was, because he said he was involved with a patient. Those are the little things that stays in my head, because I'm like, who is Finn? Outside of Steffi, who is Finn? Who is this Jack Finnegan? John Jack? Who is he? Who is this guy? Does he have traces of DNA of Sheila in his veins that he tries to shut out? To me, you're building up. This is classic soap right now. You have so many people. You got Lee, who is pissed off, and rightfully so, that this woman has really just changed the game. You have Jack somewhere. I don't know where he is, but he's somewhere. You got Deacon. You got so many people who does have it out. You got Steffi, too. You got Steffi. Heck, you even got Liam. Yes. So to me, if they're setting this up, I want them to do, and wait a minute, hold up, we forgot the icing on the cake. We got, because she comes back this week. Taylor.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You know, it honestly, there's not much more you could do with Sheila. You can't get her out of another. You can't get her out of something else again in another year from now. You can't make her crazy again. So you know what? It might be time to kill her. When I started to put these pieces, because remember, Candace and I came to this. You know, we were building up a story here. When I came to this conclusion last week and was saying to myself, oh, okay, y'all have all the pieces to do this up right, to really do this up right. But let's do us one favor as viewers. Give us a couple of really powerful motivators in scenes with Sheila, with individual candidates, so to speak. Let her have her glory. Let her blaze out like a rocket ship that we will never see again going out into space. Right, Candace?
I want a classic whodunit. I swear, and you know, this is no shade to the rest of the show's head writers, but in my opinion, there's only one show that can actually pull this off.
Yep.
I'm not saying, and again, but and for those who keep saying, well, Candace, you're bold. No, because here's the thing: Bold and Beautiful still does soap tropes that I can still remember how it was back in the day. Like, Sheila does not have a mental illness. She doesn't have a brain tumor. She doesn't, like, there's no excuse for Sheila. Sheila is Sheila. Ridge is always going to be Ridge. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's been altered to fit a purpose. We've been with Sheila for over 30 years now, to the point where it's like, who is going to put an end to her? Will it be her own child? Will it be a surprise? Find out if they go that direction. But I really do think they're setting it up right now. I'm just like, could this really happen here?
Have Lauren and Phyllis team up and take a plane out to Los Angeles and just have one hold us from behind and strangle while the other one keeps us still from.
Anthony. We got a fashion show coming up, don't we?
We do.
If they bridge out and ask Lauren Fenmore to come to judge or something like that, and she sees, first and foremost, we've never gotten the Laura Sheila stuff. I need, before they do anything with Sheila, I need that. I need that moment. Because I put Lauren as a suspect, too. Oh, Bo, come on. Let's go, Bo. Come on, let's do it. I'm ready.
You can have our ideas. All you have to do is just write us one-liners within this storyline.
Screw that. I want to be on it. I want to be on the show. No, seriously. I want to be in the crowd when they do the fashion show and then it's revealed that Sheila died. Like, the showstopper.
Me too. That's a one-liner, baby.
Okay. No, I just want the facial expression.
Do Y&R before we end.
Okay, Y&R, Newman Media.
I know.
Good night.
Candace and I are about bored with Newman Media.
I'm taking shots now.
And Adam. I'm a little tired. Doesn't seem like he's grown up.
No, it's... Okay.
No, I'm gonna tell you. I'm sorry. I told you so. They were gonna fall back to the old pattern. They had a great direction.
They did?
No, go ahead, Candace, because this is your show.
No. If it was my show, trust me, it would be so much better. Okay. The problem with Young and Restless right now is, and yeah, I'm going to say it. This is how the strike really affected a soap opera. This is what happens when you have only one at the helm. Because the problem is that you really made this show into Succession, which I'm pretty sure some of you guys know that show. To me, I understand for years, Young and Restless has always been about the Chancellors, the Newmans, and the Abbotts, and Jabot and Newman and everything. But it's to the point where if I hear Newman Media, like I said, one more freaking time, I'm going to scream. To me, okay, you have the power play of Victoria trying to run the world. And Victor is like, no, boo, there's only one Victor Newman, and I'm going to take reins and pull everything back in because I don't know what you were doing. So when Victor came back and had that moment with the portrait, which is so iconic, I mean, seriously, I saw it during the Young and Restless weekend. Can I tell you, I almost cried? I felt like I was in the living, like I felt like I was touching a celebrity when I did that. But the thing is that Victoria had to have a downfall, And when he said, well, sleeping with Nate, I was like, oh. But now this is what I'm talking about, the old folks and health. Because Victor is making some decisions, and Victoria is questioning it. And then you had him yell at Nikki out of nowhere. He yells at Nikki. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, dear God. Like, where did that come from? So you got Victoria kind of like, okay, I can use this for later. Okay, with Adam. Honey, I've said this so many. I'm so sick and tired of saying this, but I'm serious. Adam, I need for you to really walk away from the family. And when I say walk away, I want you to not think about Newman Enterprises, Newman Media, Newman Publications, Newman Music. I don't want you to think about Paul Newman. I don't want you to think about anything, okay? I want you to do you and be you. Because at this point, it's starting to become a joke that every time you think you're going to get it, then all of a sudden something happens. And what happens? Oh, poor me. I wish I could be a part of your world. You're never going to be a part of your world. And on the flip side of that, Sally and Adam is not working. I've seen it. Anthony, come on now. Come on now. Sally, Adam, come on. Really? Come on now. You know you want to say it.
Neither one of them work.
No. Sorry. Here's the thing. I really do like Sally, and I thought Sally Nick would kind of be really cute.
Really?
I did.
Oh,
but
I'm so sorry.
Right now I'm thinking Nick and Sharon, are like ageless, timeless, cute. So where's Sally gonna go? But no, you're right. Sally don't work. She don't work. I'm sorry. They don't. There's no room for her. I hate to say it, but there's no room for her on the canvas.
And then you messed up Audra.
Oh, God.
So one character that I was crushing on, I was like, she's my girl. And then you had this rape situation, and then she sleeps back with Tucker. I was like, so what's the point? She's still not knocked up yet. Kyle's a douchebag.
Yep.
But I will say this. Out of everything that I learned, Michelle Stafford, Trevor St. John got chemistry.
Honey.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm sort of flummoxed with Kyle again. Because, like, where are they going to take him now?
Douchebag City. I'm going to say this. Summer and Chance, let's go. But if this is going to end with Kyle realizing that Summer was right and he, stuff like that, okay. To me, this is going to be a problem, Josh, and I'm calling you out. You have to fix certain things. There's some loopholes in all of this. And you need to fix it like now, before October 3rd, because that's your sixth,
we got a minute and a half, guys.
All right. So what did we learn today? Everybody's getting an Emmy reel, apparently, because everybody's doing emotional storylines, and there's going to be some good ones. David, Anthony, final say?
We'll be back in 2 weeks. We love doing the show, and, keep watching.
And the strike is over with for WGA. SAG, you're next, baby.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Peace out.
Good night, everybody. Thank you, guys.
Get connected with Take Two Radio on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio. For email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit Take2Radio.com.